All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, Jacob's trouble, the Great Tribulation, back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I had to reiterate this fact of prophecy that we're getting ready to come into some trying times upon the earth, and that we have to have our faith towards Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. So all these things are coming down the pipeline. Sword being symbolic for war and division. The Lord said he didn't come to send peace on the earth, but a sword. We got famine of hearing the word, sound doctrine, and also famine of adequate nutrition. You got death that's gonna happen a lot of different ways, man, and just destruction, man, destruction of decency. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. And how's the Lord doing that? Via his servants, the prophets, man, via the 1/3 of the nation of Israel that's able to see the wickedness and call it out. Which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, that's going into the Lord's hopeful elect, crying and sighing out to him daily. And the souls of the just complain continually. And we're not supposed to give the Lord no rest, neither day nor night. We should always be complaining, praying, doing the work to the best of our ability, of course, in hopes to fulfill that prophecy of these spirits that were created to do that in these last days, while the rest of the spirits on the earth are in a damn state of mirth, all right, and folly. And the Lord taught us it's better to be in the house of mourning than to be in the house of feasting and mirth and partying, like we see a lot of our people in. Let's go down to verse 14. Woe, which means destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. And that's what's getting ready to come, man. Destruction, chaos, mayhem. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So it's coming closer and closer. World War III. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So we got the big world powers fighting, world war. But you also have within these different countries, nation against nation. That's in Matthew 24th chapter. All right, so you got one people standing up and fighting against another people. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And we're starting to see that here in Mystery Babylon the Great, the so-called USA. We're starting to see the people not regard their government, their authority figures, man. Why? In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And here's the point. Here's why. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. So they're not going to regard their kings nor princes, going into their authority figures, because they're prideful people and they're not going for it. The Edomite against the Edomite, man. Egyptian against the Egyptian. That's what's getting ready to come down the pipeline. These people are not used to suffering. They're not used to not having things go their way. Therefore, you see the spirit on the average Edomite, so-called white man, so-called white woman. A lot of complaining going on, and we're just getting started. So you see how fragile the Edomite mind here is in Mystery Babylon the Great. Therefore, they're going to fulfill the prophecy of not regarding their kings nor princes. They're going to revolt. They're going to get together in their groups and storm different places like they always have, man. Right, this is what our Lord, our power, Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, is preparing us for. Constantly saying this stuff on a daily basis so that we have it embedded in our memory, man, that this is how it's going to go. It's going to be bad. So again, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation like the earth has never seen before. All right, so those different famines, all right, the famine of sound doctrine, which is going to produce a chaotic state, a frantic state, also of not getting adequate nutrition, is going to put a spirit on the people of desperation, and they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. Neither they're going to regard their neighbors, man, and the decency that comes with being a neighbor. We're going to come into a time like the earth has never seen before, and the people are going to say, the hell with that. We need food and water now. So they're going to rob one another. They're going to use the gun, all right, and things like that to acquire different goods and such. Women are going to prostitute themselves even more. They're doing it for fun, shits and giggles, as they say, but come that day, they'll be doing it for a piece of bread, literally. The scriptures also speak about cannibalism. All right, all these things are coming back in a major way during this time of great tribulation. Once again, this is why the Lord has us on the scene, to see these things and warn our people. The book of Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. This is what we're talking about. But he shall be saved out of it. That he going into the remnant of the nation of Israel. Okay. But everybody else is going to be caught up in it. Yes, it's known as Jacob's trouble. Yes, this is a punishment in Mashaphat time. All right, Mashapatiyim upon a 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But also you other nations that don't want to take heed to the warning going out amongst our own people. Guess what? You're going to get caught up in it too. It doesn't matter if you're coming in the spirit of preparation, a prepper. All right, you're still going to get caught in this great tribulation, even though you know it's coming more than some of our people do. It doesn't matter. Yes, this is the time of Jacob's trouble for the Lord's people to be punished, but you other nations will also go through the cancers, the plagues that is the great tribulation, man. You're going to get caught up in this, and ultimately you're going to be knocked off your pivot to the point where you're going to be compromised and decide to take that mark of the beast, man. All this is about pressure, man. All this is about, taking the comforts from Mystery Babylon the Great. The whole earth is going to go through this, man. But we speak about this place because it is a chief place of wickedness, pride, all right, chasing and worshiping money, chasing and worshiping women. All these things, Mystery Babylon the Great holds in great pride and dignity, man. The scriptures speak about that. Folly is set in great dignity here in Mystery Babylon the Great. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 34. I think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace but a sword, man. For I am come to set man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And we see that now more than ever with the help of these devices. We see what's going on in these households, and we can see, if we filter it through the scriptures, oh, that's what's going on. That's why a mother is against her daughter, etc. Father against the sons. We see this now more than ever, not only within our nation, but these other nations as well. They're going into it, and these plagues of Mystery Babylon the Great is aiding in that spirit of division, man. The more and more that you have these financial issues, right? The more and more people are more and more fed up. They don't have the folly and the mirth to fall back on, to comfort them, to coddle them to sleep. Therefore, people are getting more angry. They're doing it via these videos now, but eventually it's actually going to trickle throughout these homes, and you're going to see a level of violence that happens within so-called families like the earth has never seen before. Yeah, there's this so-called boyfriend and girlfriend type of violence, but wait till the Lord continues to crank it up via sisters, via mothers and daughters, daughter-in-law against mother-in-laws, man. We see this via the police cams and things like that as we're watching daily. All right, so this is all prophetic stuff pertaining into the great tribulation, the last days, these events preceding the Lord's second coming, man. The book of Jeremiah again, 30 and verse 21. Jeremiah 30 and 5, Salakia. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace, man. All right, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. He's going to appear to do so Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. There it is again, man. This is going to be a time like the earth has never seen before. So much so that even so-called strong men, whether it's strength physically or economically, they're going to be likened unto women in that day. They're not going to have the strength of the security of their bank account, so they're going to be likened unto women in that day, because the Lord is not going to be with them. So all these men that are boasting in their strength, and the women are gravitating towards it because of their financial security, it's about to be in jeopardy. It's about to be compromised, man. And in order for them to get back rolling, if you will, they're going to have to bow down and take that mark of the beast spoken of in the book of Revelation, man. Same thing for literal physical strength. All that's going to come to naught as the days progress, and as the famine progresses, and as judgments take place upon the earth. You're not going to have readily available food to keep those calories, keep your body in a caloric surplus, man, because that's what bodybuilding is all about. It's a very gluttonous profession, man, and you have to constantly be in a state of a caloric surplus in order to keep your muscles, all right, and shit, all right, functioning in healing, in the process of, tearing your muscle, and having it repair itself stronger and bigger, man. All right, that's pretty much the process, and it requires just nonstop eating, man. That's going to be a problem. All that bodybuilding, workout, lifestyle, which is set in great dignity here in Mystery Babylon the Great, it's going to be in a compromised state, man. Again, that's why people are not going to regard their neighbors and such. They're going to be looking for protein powder first and foremost, but eventually it's going to boil down to unaliving people for cheese and crackers. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashim during this time of great tribulation. All right, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra again. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 15, and it reads, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Contrary to popular belief, right? They taught us the exact opposite, that it was nothing to be saved. All you had to do was believe in Jesus. Now we're starting to see, oh man, this is going to be a time like the earth has never seen before. It's about to be great miseries that take place upon the earth in these last days. Matter of fact, 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. The latter time, the latter days, the end time events, man. Because they have walked in great pride. And we know pride goeth before destruction. There it is again. Because of great pride, these cities are going to be troubled. Because of great pride, Yahweh Bashemashah is going to execute swift judgment, Mahaya Mashapat, upon this earth, man. Upon Mystery Babylon the Great, man. It's about this pride that our people have. It's about the pride that Esau Edom has, these other heathen nations, man. This boasting in wickedness, especially when the prophets are on the scene. So going back to you 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Hey, this judgment is gonna start with you guys, man. Let's go to the book of Haggai 1 and 2. And it reads, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bahashim Awashah, saying, This people say the time is not come. That's the spirit that our people come in, are saying, oh, this is not going to happen in our lifetime. All right. The time that the Lord's house should be built, and that's happening now. They just don't realize it. That spiritual ark is being built, man. And we see what's coming through the spirit, and we're hiding ourselves in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah. We understand that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, man. Go down to verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat but have not enough. Going into how we working in Mystery Babylon the Great for those of us that live here. And I'll continue. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And ye that earneth wages, here's the point, earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Look how they tax our money before we even see it. Half of that money look okay at first, and then you see the taxes that they take out, and you're like, oh no, this can't be our rest. You're right. That's what we're teaching our people through the spirit, that this is not your rest. All right, we have to call upon Yahweh or Yahweh Shah in order to receive the salvation. It's coming. We see the signs of the times, and we're filtering it through the scriptures. Okay, this is it. So we're preparing ourselves by calling upon the Lord as much as possible, man. All right, the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh especially that in the latter times, there it is, end times, latter times, the last days, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And that's what you see with our people, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. So no matter what, with the prophets being out on the scene, some of our people still want to lean to their own understanding. Once again, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which Yahweh Shema Shai have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So just coming up with all their own type of doctrines, their own type of philosophies that fit their emotions, man. And you see a lot of our women taking part of that, still thinking themselves to be pastors and preachers, while we're telling them, no, this ain't it. You're taking on an unnecessary burden. May Yahweh Shema Shai deal with them accordingly, man. In the book of Galatians. And it's important for us to be following the correct doctrine, because it's a lot of false prophets that the Lord himself has set up in these last days, and we got to be able to navigate through that. Galatians 1:7, and it reads, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Hamashiach. So there it is, man. All these false prophets that's perverting the good news of the coming kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Hawashah. Verse 8, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. So it's an curse unto you if you teach not the correct doctrine. And we see a lot of that going on. As we have said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you that ye have received, let him be accursed. So telling our people that Esau, Edom, not going into captivity. You're teaching lies, teaching the names, the incorrect names, man. You're teaching lies. You're going to be a curse, and the Lord is going to expose that curse here pretty soon during Jacob's trouble. So to behoove you to follow and teach the correct doctrine if you are calling yourself a teacher out here, a prophet or what have you, or else you're going to be in danger of being accursed and judged by Yahweh, by Hashem and Hawashah. All right. But we see these things coming down the pipeline. Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. They're back in the fighting. Mystery Babylon the Great, Iran, the other nations are being fed up. They're going to get involved, and Lord willing, this thing doesn't slow down with this whole conflict in the Middle East. You got pestilence on the rise. You got earthquakes in diverse places. People still going at it here in Mystery Babylon the Great. The prices of goods are not dropping. So this got to be the more sure word of prophecy that we're living in versus everybody else. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.